bese sihlele qeda ngoswede kwiqiqi unyambose
umuzame ngithi
ngokukhulu ukusithoba kunjalo unyambose
bengobani abathi abantu abaphalaze ulwandle.
Welcome back, Netflix fam. Today we're diving into episode 5 of Shaka iLembe. Episode 5 picks up with Nongila and Ngwadi on their mission to investigate the arrival of the British in the south. On their way, Nongila gave Ngwadi something that seemed to have upset his stomach, and while relieving himself, he came across a British soldier. Leading them to their colony where they were actively fighting against the Xhosa, they immediately tried to make a run for it, but they were stopped in their tracks by a group of Boer farmers who thought they were trying to steal their cattle. They shot one of the Zulu guards and captured the remaining 3 men before taking them back to the camp. The Boers were ready to end their lives, but their Xhosa translator Jacob stopped them to question the Zulu men who had been accused of being cattle thieves. Nongila revealed their identities and told Jacob that they were sent by Shaka to meet the Xhosa king. The Boer bought their story and released them, after which Jacob filled them in on the current situation between the Xhosa, the Boer, and the British.
Yaphinde yahlangana futhi Matiwana. Usamile umbuzo namanje. Uyakhonza noma cha uyengweni. Wena ntutseyana ngesiso. Angiyona inkotha qoqo yakho. Futhi angisoze ngaphenduka mina esiginqa chufi sakho. Njengazo zonke lezi zinto ohamba nazo la. Sambeni. Awuqinisele Sikhethe. Kumele sikubulale kwasekuqaleni lo.
Matiwane and his army were ultimately forced to retreat after Shaka claimed the lives of 2 of his royal guards while pursuing him. Following their victory, the Zulu and Mteto army celebrated, with even Somveli receiving praise for his efforts on the battlefield. It was then revealed that the Kwabi king had passed away, with his son requesting support from Dingiswayo to challenge his brother Phakathwayo for the throne. However, Dingiswayo refused to interfere in the real matters of the Kwabi, promising that he would only support him if his brother declared war. Shaka did not agree. He confronted Dingiswayo about his marriage to the princess and encouraged Dingiswayo to support his claim for the Kwabi throne, insisting that they had to get rid of Phakathwayo before he became a problem. However, Dingiswayo confirmed that he would not interfere and urged Shaka not to interfere either. Despite the tension, the two leaders parted on good terms. Back in Guanubamba, Mkabayi cautioned Shaka against building a bigger royal palace than the ones in other capitals, which she warned might be seen as provocation by the Kwabi and the Mtetwa, who they pledged to. However, Nandi defended the decision and insisted that they were building for the future. We are then introduced to Shaka's new palace, where Liana questioned Shaka's motivation behind building such a grand palace. She jokingly claims that he must be planning to have many wives and children, but Shaka denied having any interest in marriage and claimed that he was rather building it as a symbol of the Zulu people's strength. Later that evening, Liana brought Shaka some food, where she earned his trust. Meanwhile, Dingiswayo and Somveli took a dip in the ocean, where Dingiswayo encouraged his son to find a wife because he will need to be married if he is to succeed him. However, Somveli's uncle had grown increasingly suspicious of his nephew after finding out from a Tanga trader that the Mteto prince had never been seen in their lands like he claimed. Somveli's uncle ordered one of the Mteto men to find out if his nephew had ever even visited the Ndwandwe capital. However, Somveli soon found out about his uncle's investigation and intercepted his messenger and killing him before he could report back on Somveli's presence in the Ndwandwe capital. Meanwhile, Dingiswayo was aimlessly walking into a trap as he got closer to Ntombazana, accusing her of being a spy for her grandmother. However, the Mteto king couldn't resist the Ndwandwe princess as they consummated their marriage. In Ndwandwe, Hlechiwe decided to flee the Ndwandwe kingdom. However, she was quickly spotted, forcing Sikonyana to track her down. Klitschwe revealed that she was going home and Sikonyana offered to run away with her. However, he insisted that they wait for distraction before fleeing. Meanwhile, Soshangane and Mzilikazi had a private meeting where Mzilikazi questioned why Soshangane had been kept out of royal business ever since his altercation with Nomadlanjana. Later that evening, the two warriors would be witness to a gruesome scene as Zwide confronted Melusi for harboring the Mthethwa messenger who was sent to investigate if Msomveli had ever been in Ndwandwe. Melusi, who is married to Dingiswayo's sister, denied having any knowledge of the messenger's investigation. But the episode ends with Zwide stabbing Melusi before his mother's hyenas arrived to finish him off.